Hi, welcome back. It's time for part three of my state of my campaign, campaign update and state of the world. Welcome. I am Susan Maud Buchser-Lochocki, or Susan Buchser for short. I'm a presidential candidate from previous elections and future elections, plus I'm running for House of Delegates here in West Virginia. But I'm also a world citizen, and yeah, we we are at a place in the world where things are being exposed, hidden agendas, and so I want to state this first. Iran is not wrong to stick up for the Palestinian people. Slowly, they have watched, like we all have, the erosion of Palestinian land in their own country and the takeover of Israel. As you know, I do not recognize Israel as a country any longer, and I recognize Palestine. The UN had no right to take land from one country and give it to another. And over the last year, I've really discovered, this was a country, and they really, literally just, with a pen on paper, changed it. Now, I'm going to assume that somebody was paid really well for that job, and corruption is not acceptable. So we need to reset the lines like they were in 1947 and go back to that time and correct it. Correct the mistake of the United Nations and the mistake of the President of the United States at that time, which was Truman. He had no right to agree to such a deal. But the hidden agenda is the Zionists. They have been pushing towards global takeover of the world, and this started way back when the doctrine of discovery was created by the Pope back in the Renaissance time, which caused all the colonization that we saw all over the world during that period. But now it's gone on to really push Christianity everywhere. And this is just not acceptable. Not acceptable. So what I can say is that the current situation in Iran is I don't even know what to say. It's sad, and it's shocking. I mean, I am not at all pro whatever religion was with the Ayatollah. And I am certainly okay with the actions there to remove him from power. I don't know really if that's the USA's job. And I, in my administration, the policing of the world would not be so strong as it is right now, because I think we need to focus on our own country. While all the other countries are focusing on their country, we're busy policing the world and not focusing on our own people. And this is where the USA is falling apart, and this is why we need to turn our interests back to our own people and our own country. But we are in this situation at the moment, and I just want to expose what's really being challenged here. And spreading Christianity is not part of the U.S. policy. It may have been at one time. It certainly was during the colonization from England and France and Spain, especially Spain. I mean, Spain took over all of South America pretty much, and parts of the USA that are now under USA territories. But missionaries spreading Christianity is not part of our government's role. And spreading Judaism is also not part, or control for the Jews is not part of our job. We do not work for Israel. And sadly, this is what's happened. So, we do not have the right to be police. The last time this happened it's happened many times, but one of our biggest blunders was with Truman, when he agreed with the UN to steal land from one country and give it to somebody else. Look at the problems that caused. So many places have been at war and attacking U.S. citizens because of it. But I want to go over the numbers. So just last year alone, more Iranians were killed by U.S. and Israel forces, and these are Iranian citizens as well as Iranian military personnel, than in the 50 years of Iran fighting for Palestine to have a voice, to have their country back. So this is just disproportionate. It's, David and Goliath, and the job was done when the Ayatollah Khomeini was killed, and the head of their areas. We do not have the right to go in and destroy the country. Period. I don't care if that looks weak. We don't need to be the bullies on the planet. We need to share the responsibility so we can come home and focus on our own problems here. In my last video, I told you that there were just last year, and last year was a low murder rate year for our country. There were over 3,000 women killed and over 12,000 men killed in the United States. So our problem is not having people killed in Iran or by Iranians. Our problem is our own people killing our own people here in the country. And that's because we took mothers out of the home. We told them their job was not important, and we took all their resources. Then we put our kids through this stupid thing called high school, where they don't learn things that are necessary for living, and they don't even start working until they're well into their 20s. And no other country is doing it this way. And then also, if kids go to university, we ask them to go into debt along with their parents because universities are so expensive. So, folks, we need to overhaul our U.S. society and change the education system to an apprenticeship program so that kids can learn important skills, human skills that are needed for life. Not specialty things about doing calculations or cutting open a pig or anything like that. We need basics. We need to learn how to take care of a vehicle. We need to learn how to cook. We need to learn how to make a rug. We need to learn how to bake. We need to learn all sorts of skills that are needed for life. Because if something happens and we don't know how to survive without modern technology, we're going to be dead. So, with that said, I call on our Secretary of War to think about what I just said. And the war, I don't like the new name anyways, but the war is actually going on the streets of the USA. So come home and let's straighten out our own country first before we go trying to poison other countries with our hate and our hostilities and our domination. Then I call on the president to organize a group of 6 or 7 from around the world who will be regional heads who will come together for planet problems and then report back to the various regions what's gone on. So like if there's an asteroid coming and it's emergency and we need to block it, we need the 6 or 7 regional heads to come together and come up with a solution. And then we need to act on it. So, this is the state of the world for this week. And the U.S. needs to stop being the police of the world. Regional departments need to be in charge of their region. And we need to bring our people back to take care of our own country's problems. We are our own worst enemies right now. Our children are calling for help. Our elderly are calling for help. Our mothers and fathers are calling for help. We need to stop what we're doing abroad and work on ourselves here in the USA. The different techniques that Trump has issued to the different world leaders and countries have done their magic. We've got the world thinking, and a lot of these ideas came from my platform too, about how Europe was taking advantage of the United States in many ways, and the world. And so things are changing, and this is good. But the work there is not done, but we need to work on our own country first. We need to build a base, a strong country, and then we can lead through example. There we go. Okay, thank you for stopping by. I am Susan Maud Buchser-Lochocki. I'm all over the internet. If you want to like and subscribe to whatever channel you found me on, please do. And I do have a website. It's susan4usa.com. Susan, the number 4usa.com. I'm also an artist, and I have a little bit about my artwork there. But you can skip that and just scroll down and continue. Or you can have a look at that too and see what I'm doing art-wise. Okay, so that's my news. I wish you peace. That's what I wish you. I wish us all peace. End of part 3. Bye-bye.